Hi everybody and welcome to the Intelligent Endurance Monday Minute with Coach Nick, me. Every Monday I'm going to be sending out a video addressing a question that an athlete has given me during the previous week or month maybe that I feel I could give a response that would help a lot of people out. So this week I've been given the question of, Coach Nick, how often do I replace my running shoes? This is a great question. You should replace them immediately after you use them for cutting grass or doing anything other than running. That's a really easy answer. Your running shoes should only be for running. You do not want to use them for walking, for hiking, for grass cutting, for dog washing, or any of those types of things. A more technical answer would be we're looking at the ballpark of 500 miles usually. That's what the industry standard would say. If you're not interested in going through your running log and looking at all the mileage you've racked up, you typically don't want to wear a pair of shoes past the 6 to 8 month range. Once you get into 3/4 of a year, you've probably put too much stress on them that even if it hasn't been 500 miles, the amount of stress you've put on those shoes, it's going to equal the stress of 500 miles of running. Now, some lighter runners can probably get the life of their shoe maybe 700 or 800 miles maybe, and then it becomes a thing of feel and comfort. Because if you're going to start feeling some aches and pains below the knee, some weird discomfort maybe in the arch of your foot or somewhere around your heel, your shoe's probably dying out. There are a few things you can do to help prolong the life of your shoes. One of those things is if you have multiple runs in one day, use different shoes. It's a best practice to not use your shoes within 24 or up to 48-hour spans. So if you've got runs most days of the week and you're running at the same time each day, you're probably wearing your shoes within or right at a 24-hour span. It's helpful if you rotate between 2 or maybe even 3 pairs of shoes if you're going to be running most days of the week. They don't necessarily have to be different shoes. You can buy 2 of the same pair and then rotate them every other day or every other run. That way your shoes will last well beyond the 6 to 8 month range. You might get a solid year to year and a half out of them rotating between the 2 pairs or more. An example of a shoe that might be dying, that is seeing the end of its life, are my current trainers right now. You can see by looking at the lugs on the front right here, things are starting to wear away. They're starting to get pretty smooth. I don't have as much height to the lugs as I did when these shoes were new. If we look at a new pair of shoes, these Kinvaras that I've only worn twice, they're going to have lugs on them that are pretty deep still. I haven't worn these down very much. I've only worn them twice so far. But if you want to look at a shoe that I've totally destroyed, the old Kinvaras I've been using don't have almost any lugs left on the side of the shoe. And if you want a really good indicator that your shoe has seen the end of days, it's kind of died, if you tear a hole in the side right there, it's usually best to stop running in the shoe and keep it away from your nose because it stinks. So, to recap, shoes last about 500 miles, generally speaking. Sometimes they may last 600 to 800 miles. It's a best practice to rotate 2 or 3 pairs of shoes into your running. Sometimes you can rotate something for training and then a lighter shoe that you might race in if you have some speed work or some tempo work. You want to try and give about 24 to 48 hours in between wearing your shoes. And If the lugs are shaved off on the bottom, if a seam splits on the side, if you start developing any foot or lower leg pain, typically your shoes are ready to be done. Alright, if anybody has any further questions, feel free to shoot me an email or text. And if anybody has any general questions they'd like me to address by video, feel free to let me know about that. And I will see you guys next Monday. Thanks.